The Kalogeras sisters seem to have it all. They get hundreds of thousands of views an hour, which is something that 99.999% of YouTubers will never achieve in their lives. They have thousands of loyal fans. The content they make is incredibly simple. They seem like the least likely people to ever get into a controversy, much less many different controversies.
I still find the Kalogeras sisters weird and problematic, so I will continue to post awareness videos about them.
Right now, there are TikToks with hundreds of thousands of likes talking about one thing.
But I wanted to talk about some of the things that's going on in the Kalogeras sisters fandom.
And that thing is the cancellation of the Kalogeras sisters.
For a design. Okay, it's getting cold. I need to practice my ballet.
So what exactly did they do? Well, in this video, we'll be getting into it, and hint, it is a lot of different stuff at once. But first, I'm selling a limited amount of sweatshirts and t-shirts to help a Palestinian family get out of Palestine, which is an expensive trip during these horrible times. A lot of you know Mustafa by now and his 2 daughters. When you buy a t-shirt or sweatshirt, a portion of the profit goes to Mustafa's family as they need money for food and a chance to escape the danger and rebuild their lives. The shirts are super soft and high quality, and you will be helping save the lives of a dad, mom, and 2 toddlers. Most of us have probably heard of them, but for those who don't, they are 3 sisters that look very similar, that make content together, mostly long-form YouTube videos from 30 to 40 minutes, sometimes just 18, where they go on fun adventures, they do fun challenges, simple YouTube content like that. They don't usually post very much on TikTok or YouTube Shorts. That's not really their thing. They're more focused on long-term content. They also don't post on Instagram a lot, but they are adored by their fans. Well, a lot of their fans. Some of their fans can be very, very harsh, which we'll be getting into. That's not the main controversy, but it is a pretty disturbing detail. I don't find these girls funny, I'm sorry. This is a fairly old TikTok on them before all these controversies started taking off a few days ago that people have been discussing. People mainly only kind of hated on them for reasons which obviously they're not going to get canceled over, such as them only being famous for their looks. I've seen other people talk about this before, and they do make pretty simple content, so perhaps that does play some role, but their looks have also gotten them bullied because people, now I wouldn't say they're fans, but people have singled out certain ones. I honestly don't know their names super well, but I do know that fans and other people watching them have made fun of one of these sisters at least before and called them uglier than the rest, which is obviously very cruel.
The Kalogeras sisters are the perfect example of how society fixates on pretty women in the most unhealthy ways. Demetra Kalogeras is obsessively objectified. Eliana's boyfriend is constantly shipped with her sister. Sunday gets infantilized, and Anna Rin gets picked apart by the media just for existing.
Before this entire situation that happened a few days ago, usually these were the type of TikToks. It is very, very sad. Their own fan base has been pretty rude to them, and they have been through a lot of different situations based on their beauty. Like, they've been picked apart, like this girl says, and had the term pretty privileged to describe them by a lot of different people, and a lot worse things. People have been very strange to them in public. We'll look at some clips soon of people just being not appropriate at all, and let's just say very non-respectful to them in public, which makes me disgusted.
It's projection, it's entitlement, and parasocial weirdness.
Here is a clip of them being treated very badly in public. That's a very awful thing for someone to do. I'm not going to play music in the background of this one because I feel like that's not very respectful, because this is a pretty disturbing moment and definitely not what someone should have to go through.
Today, I'll be talking about how the Kalogeras sisters let their fan base bully and send death and rape to a girl just because she had curly hair. Natalie Inspos is the girl we'll be talking about. She started getting attention a little later last year to early this year, if I remember correctly. People started seeing some similarities in Natalie and the Kalogeras sisters. The Kalogeras fandom thought Natalie was copying the Kalogeras sisters, then started sending her hate that slowly turned into cyberbullying threats. And here's Natalie talking about it.
So like most big influencers, they have some accounts that are dedicated to, let's just say, spreading not so positive information about them. And this is one of them, which has recently gotten more attention now that all these controversies have been out about them. Apparently a girl got bullied because people thought, well, specifically fans of the Kalogeras sisters, thought that she was like copying them, so they went and they sent her not so nice stuff. I can't say it on YouTube, but I think we all know. It starts with a D, ends with an H, and no one should have to receive it. And it was all because she had curly hair, and she was not very happy, and rightfully so, that people were so mad at her for having curly hair, because yes, the Kalogeras sisters did not invent curled hair. That has in fact existed for a very, very long time. Curly hair to be more specific, but the girl ended up dropping a response where she kind of takes some punches at the sisters, saying that they should have said more.
Okay, I wasn't going to respond to any of the comments because I've learned to keep my mouth shut, but I just want to say, please stop acting like I'm the villain here. At the age of 16, I was getting threats, and I still am to this day. I can provide screenshots if you like. People were harassing me for months and still are. All I'm saying is that it could have easily stopped or at least got down faster if somebody said something. And I'm sure you guys know who that somebodies are.
Now, since this situation, she's began to make more videos where she criticizes these sisters very, very strongly, and I honestly do not blame her because I would probably resent someone a lot if out of nowhere their fan base started attacking me. Now, this is probably kind of controversial, but there is a possibility, I'm going to say, not for sure, that they did not know the sisters, because who knows how often they actually check social media to see what people are talking about. Unless people spammed comments, I'm not sure that they would know, because you don't always know, especially because they are so huge, that this is going on. Because, once again, they're not very active on TikTok. They have only had like 7 TikToks on there, and they're mostly just active on YouTube, no other social media that I know of. I could be wrong, but they could know, perhaps. But sometimes the fan bases are just toxic, and maybe they didn't know, because this only has 14,000 likes, so I'm not going to say that they for sure knew. Don't come for me with pitchforks. I'm just saying we shouldn't immediately assume that they knew, and we're like, yeah, forget about it, girly.
Look at the recent video, right? Kalogeras.
There's a type of content on TikTok that feels almost too simple. Videos with no words, little to no dancing, no context, just a look, a vibe, and a camera. And suddenly, they're everywhere. People call them ethereal, angelic, and goddesses. They have become a full-blown aesthetic, not just creators. But here's the question. If someone who looked completely different posted the exact same content, would it still blow up? Or is this the case of beauty doing the heavy lifting?
Another reason I am saying this is because their own fandom has been very toxic to them. Their own fandom constantly is judging their looks. Even though they are fans, they're still really rough on them. And they, like Kelly Scalos in this video, kind of ponder sometimes even when they watch their videos and comment, why are these people famous? Like, even though I kind of like your content, I don't think you should be this popular. So it is a possibility they just kind of stay off social media to avoid this negativity. So I'm just saying we shouldn't jump on this bandwagon right away.
Penalty. No! Penalty. Penalty. No, I'm not.
The first time I saw this video on TikTok, I was confused because I think they're just saying no. This video confused me. I was like, are we just like blatantly lying now? I don't hear them saying anything. They're just yelling while they chase a ball. How does that make them Zionists and Trump supporters? Like, this is kind of a reach. But then I realized that more people were beginning to talk about this particular situation, and there was a lot more to it than I just noticed. So I did a little deep dive, did a little researching, and this is what I found.
So these 3 sisters are being canceled for being Trump supporters, and they're not even American. Allegedly, these girls are Trump supporters because their mom reposted a Trump post on Instagram. And now their supporters are trying to cancel them over this. Their fans also pointed out the fact that they're not even American, they're Canadian, so why are they supporting Trump? And apparently they're blocking and deleting comments on their TikTok if anyone mentions them supporting Donald Trump.
So recently, a TikTok did pretty good numbers showing a screen recording of their mom liking a Trump post. And that caused a lot of backlash because, you know, they follow their mom, and that must mean that the family supports Trump. And a lot of people wondered, well, they're Canadian, so why would they support Trump? So I'm guessing, I could be wrong here, I'm guessing that's kind of where they took that idea that they must be Zionists, because as all of us know by now, Trump is a major supporter of Israel. So it kind of makes sense to assume, I guess, from their perspective, that the sisters must be like really obsessed, or the sister's mom must be really obsessed with Israel, or something like that. I could be wrong. But their fans were quick to defend them. Yes, the same fans that will harass them and shame them, and a lot more decided to come to their defense and began to make arguments. So there was really this kind of war on TikTok. Tons of people were talking about them getting canceled for being Zionist and Trump supporters, and other people were like, hey, we should not attack them. Let's not jump yet. We need to know more about it. And then the sisters finally responded.
So I don't usually post my face on this account, but I wanted to talk about some of the things that's going on in the Kalogeras sisters fandom, or things that are going on with them. So one day, when I was scrolling through comments on a Kalogeras sisters post, I saw a bunch of people commenting that they are Trump supporters and all this other stuff. And there were screenshots of Patricia liking Donald Trump's posts and all of that stuff, and the Kalogeras sisters haven't spoke up about it yet. This is my opinion. A lot of people may not agree with my opinion, But there hasn't been anything that the Kalogeras sisters have done to prove that they like Trump.
This is where I'm a little confused, because if there's only evidence that their mom liked to post, I don't understand how that connects them to them. I'm sure we all have relatives that support politicians we don't like. Like, I don't support Trump, and I never will, for obvious reasons, but I have relatives that do. So if we went by that accord and everyone knew my name, I would have been canceled for the same reason. Like, they're definitely liking Trump posts. You can't control what your relatives, your mom, your dad, your grandpa do. So if this is true, this is the only evidence that a relative or their mom liked a post, I'm just confused how that translates to them, because you can't really control your mom's actions. You know, she's gonna like whatever she likes. Like, she's gonna like the post she wants. Should they just, like, lock her out of her account? I'm just confused. Like, why are they getting in trouble for something they didn't do?
So, to kind of explain where I'm going, my dad loves Trump. He's a very big supporter. And my mom, she doesn't really care. She's kind of neutral. She doesn't like politics. But I hate Trump with a burning passion. And my dad likes all of his posts and stuff and it kind of comes back on me, and people ask me if I like Trump, and I'm like, no, I don't. It's just my dad.
Exactly. I just think people want a chance to get really mad at them, and sure, they may have a lot of stuff given to them because of different reasons that others can't control. Like, they may seem to have it easier than other people, just making simple videos, not doing too much editing. The editing's pretty simple, and I mean, they probably hire an editor like a lot of people do. It does seem annoying to have people get something so easily, so much fame so easily, but that simply isn't a reason to cancel them over something that they didn't do. Like, none of the sisters did anything. I mean, what do you want them to do? Like, hypnotize their mom? Like, I'm just confused what people want out of this situation. Like, maybe they're, like I said, maybe they're linking the relatives together. They just assume that they all have the same mindset in the family, but that's not usually how it works. There are so many different young people that disagree with their parents on politics. Like, that's very, very common, like this girl. So it just seems like kind of a dumb bandwagon to jump on to immediately cancel them for something they didn't even do. And then, with no context like TikTok usually does, people are making videos where they were talking about their cancellation and saying there was once a time, you know that trend with that song, and people say there was once a time, well, they're saying there's once a time they weren't canceled, they were so wholesome, all these TikToks, and these were getting hundreds of thousands of likes. And the comments were kind of a mess because, let's be honest, I mean, a lot of people didn't know about the situation and were confused. They probably thought they did something awful, but if you actually take the time to do a few seconds of research, you realize that, like, so far into this situation, so far, these sisters have done nothing. Like, they haven't done anything. It's been other people that have been doing things that have caused controversies.
Being a Trumpy is already insane as hell, but being a Trumpy and you don't even live here, you don't even live in this country, is crazy. That's insane. Just say you hate all of us that actually live here. Like, I can maybe understand all the dummies over here being brainwashed, but the people that don't live in this country that support that man that's the craziest thing ever.
While she didn't distinctively say it, a lot of people believed that she was talking about the sisters in this video, and I'm not going to come for her because she could be talking about someone else. Who knows? But since the situation is kind of trending right now, the search bar, most people were talking about her in the comments, so maybe that is what this girl was hinting at. But once again, maybe there is something I don't know, and I'm a complete idiot. Like, I apologize because maybe somehow I missed something, but when I was looking, it was just the mom's post. I'm just so confused. Why is it their fault? Well, there may be more to this situation, so let's look into it.
And obviously, people are upset over the fact that they did not deny or debunk them being Trump supporters and have yet to comment on this. Just because their mom liked a Trump post, does that make them Trump supporters? And should they be canceled over this? I get not liking someone's political views, but cancel culture is a bit toxic. Should they be canceled over supporting Trump? Let me know in the comments.
This is one thing that really annoys me about, specifically, there are other apps obviously that cause this, but specifically Twitter and TikTok, because people don't usually add a lot of context. Like, instead of long form YouTube videos where you really go into depth about the situation, it's just like a very short TikTok with basically no context and a bunch of comment sections full of people just sometimes making things up so they can get the top comment, not always but sometimes, or tweets that are made literally just to go viral, so they'll say anything, where things will just like spread like wildfire and someone's reputation will be ruined over something that they didn't even do. Like, are we really canceling people for, out of all reasons, someone in their family liking a tweet not a tweet, but a TikTok. Like, what do you want them to do? What are they supposed to do? Like, they can't force their mom to believe the same stuff. Like, sure, it would be awesome if we could all just get along, but, like, you can't control what someone does. Like, it sucks, but you can't. You can't control what they like, so why are they getting the blame for it? I'm so confused. Like, look at this. Like, look at them. Watch, this is the screen recording that went viral. It's the mom. And then they go over to who she's following, or the people following her, because, I mean, most people are going to follow their mom because it's your mom, and the sisters are the ones following them. Because when I heard about this, I was like, yeah, they must have liked something that Trump posted. That makes sense. That would be the cause of the controversy. If they liked a Trump tweet or a Trump TikTok or a Trump post on Instagram, wherever, it would make sense to assume that they're Trump supporters. Because, I mean, you don't hate Trump and like his posts. I think that, like, a toddler would understand that. But, like, it makes no sense to go after them for something they didn't even do. Like, what do you people want? And once again, I think it is just something out of wanting controversy out of people that have very little controversy. Because once again, the main controversy they have, I could be wrong, let me know if I'm wrong, but it seems like it's just from their fan base, which is pretty infamous, which seems like it's full of some very awful people. Some people seem sweet, like that girl earlier seemed very sweet, but the ones sending the D to the H threats remind me a lot of a very smelly community on Twitter. If anyone else knows what I'm talking about, if you don't do any more digging or research. You don't want to know about this community.
But they probably haven't spoken out because they don't feel the need to, because they aren't a part of the situation. They don't live in America. And I just think that they don't want to get involved. I just think people need to go a little easier on them, because just because their mom liked something doesn't mean that they like it too. I hope that the Kalogeras sisters speak out. I do hope that.
And they did end up speaking out because, once again, their comment sections under most of their videos began to get some not so nice comments accusing them of being a lot of different things. And when they got accused of being Zionists and stuff, I think they started to realize that, hey, this isn't really just an America problem. Like, we're kind of getting in trouble in this situation. We need to address it. So they ended up replying to someone's comment on TikTok. And this is a very rare thing for them to do because they don't usually respond to stuff. Like, as we know, they're not very involved. Maybe they're ignoring it. I'm not going to say for sure, but they don't seem to be super involved with, like, contacting their fan base, telling their fan base to do certain things. Like, they're not super involved. I could be wrong once again. I'm not saying this is, like, a bad thing, because for obvious reasons, some people seem to like be very rude to them in public and stuff, as we saw earlier. So I don't blame them for this at all. Like, they can do whatever they want. It's their account. But it just shows that they definitely did get a lot of negative attention, enough for them to realize, hey, we should probably address this.
News for all Kalogeras sisters fans. Demetra has spoken out about them being Trump supporters and Zionists. Unfortunately, I still find the Kalogeras sisters weird and problematic, so I will continue to post awareness videos about them. But I just wanted to post this because I know I'll get some questions about this. That's all I wanted to say. I may get hate, but it's whatever.
So this is what they ended up saying. We are not Trump supporters and we are not Zionists. They replied to a comment with 1,900 likes. That's a lot of likes. I wonder who else has had someone get that many likes on a comment blatantly lying about them. Definitely not me, okay? Well, anyway, they definitely got a lot more comments with more likes about that because, once again, the situation did get a lot of attention, but I'm glad they were able to clear it up because, once again, I mean, it just shows, like, it annoys me because it's very popular for these TikToks with no context to just say something like, before everyone turned on them with, like, the dramatic sad music or something, and then all the comments are just, like, saying random things. Like, they lied, they admitted to it, they responded. Once again, it's become a common thing. I don't know why people are so obsessed with getting, like, TikTok comment likes and stuff and getting this, like, blue comment and stuff, but, like, they're really into it. So sometimes they'll just blatantly lie about stuff. They'll say, like, they reposted your video, and we all know if you're on TikTok, you're like, even for 5 minutes, you know what I'm talking about. And so people just blatantly lie in the comments. So no one really gets anywhere. Like, there's no information that's correct in this situation. People are just lying and lying and lying. So they get all this hate for something that they didn't even do. I mean, if someone does show evidence that they actually did, like a post that would prove they were either of the two, I could see plenty of controversy coming out of that, and justfully so. Like, honestly, I would completely agree with it. But, like, there's no evidence. People are just jumping on this, like, bandwagon because, like, they probably feel a bit jealous. I mean, who wouldn't be jealous? Like, I remember seeing TikToks of saying they have everything, and it wasn't really like an envious, it wasn't like an angry, jealous one. It was kind of like I wish I was them, I love them kind of TikTok, but it was like they have everything, they're beautiful, they're rich, and they're happy and stuff, and it was showing one of the TikToks of them laughing.
Searched up the survival rate for blimps, and the first thing that popped up was a crash in 1937. But guys, apparently, 67% of the people in that crash survived. So, and look at the odds. That means that we have more than the 50%. That means that.
And, I mean, I don't blame people for being a little bit envious. I mean, sometimes you can't help it as long as you don't express it in a nasty way by, like, making fun of them or something. I don't blame you for feeling deep down in your heart a little envious. I mean, they have a lot of stuff in their life. They get to hang out all day. They get to go to parks. They get to go on rides at fairs. They get to do everything. They get to take fun photos. They get tons of compliments. They go viral with every post. Like, I'll just see an upload and I'll be like, I'll look at the view count, I'll be just like, dang, like, you guys, wow, like, you guys are living the dream, and, like, I love that for you. They don't seem very problematic. Like, they have a very problematic fan base, but at the end of the day, I don't really blame their fan base on them, because they didn't order their fan base that we know of to send mean things. Like, sometimes nasty people just decide to be a fan of you, and there's nothing you can really do about it. Once again, maybe they did ignore it. I'm not saying for sure that that girl was lying or anything. I'm just saying there's a possibility that they didn't notice, because it only got about 14,000 likes.
I need to talk about the Kalogeras sisters situation, okay? Everyone's talking about it, and I feel like I have a differing opinion, and I'm like, I need someone to tell me, am I crazy? Like, is this crazy for me to say that? Like, am I just hopping the bandwagon? Because I do watch them. I do. I do watch them. I feel like a lot of their fan base is, like, Glazers, which is true. A lot of fan base are Glazers, but what I don't understand is, why are we ridiculing someone based off of their parents? Like, even if I know they came out with a statement saying that their mom liked a photo or whatever before she knew that he was a bad person, whatever, they're from Canada, they didn't know, blah blah blah. Even if the mom did know, why are we putting the mom's belief on the child?
Once again, I definitely do not watch them on a regular basis. They're not for me, and that's cool. If they have done something genuinely problematic that I don't know, believe me, I do not know. Like, if I did know, I would bring it up. Please let me know in the comments. Like, I promise you, I am not, like, lying to you. I do not know if they've ever done anything. But from the videos I've watched and researched, I have not found anything. So, genuinely, I think that people just enjoy tearing down people. Like, when I made my Stephanie Sue video, I remember it ended up on the YouTube drama subreddit, and I used to go on that subreddit and, like, look at different situations, and it actually got a lot of attention because people were talking about how I called out another creator and stuff, but all the comments were either hating on me or Stephanie Sue. Like, I thought everyone liked Stephanie Sue. Like, I genuinely thought everyone liked her now. But, like, apparently Redditors don't. So, like, I think the lesson here is that, like, there will always be people that hate you. Even if you did nothing, they're still gonna hate you, because not because of reason, just because they want a reason to hate you. They're jealous, so many different reasons. They just want to be you, who knows? But there's always gonna be people that hate you. There are many different accounts dedicated to canceling them and stuff, and bringing up stuff, and normally those accounts are pretty good. I remember, like, Poultry Real, some of them were just hating, and those ones are pathetic. Some of them were, like, making AI videos as a joke that were blatantly obvious, like putting "this is AI" across it and stuff. But sometimes these accounts can actually dig up important information that can show that this person is problematic, that they're hiding stuff. Sometimes they're useful, but the ones about the sisters are literally just digging up, like, they're not finding anything. The only things they find are the ones where their fan base did something. And once again, I feel like you can't really judge them for something their fan base did. Like, I don't support Melanie, and her fan base is awful, but I wouldn't blame her for her fan base. Like, I wouldn't blame her for the threats I got from her fan base because she can't control it. You know what I mean? Like, I don't blame the person unless, like, they encourage it. And I don't think Melanie has encouraged it. I could be wrong once again, but, like, I don't think that they knew, so I feel like that's not really a true reason to cancel them.
Who would it be?
And what annoys me the most about this entire situation, about the allegations of them being the supporters of those two very, very bad things, is that the most liked TikToks are the ones talking about how, like, they are for sure like, they are for sure what they're accused of. It's not the ones defending them. The ones defending them did decent, but the ones accusing them did so much better. Sometimes, if people just feel like a jealousy towards someone, because there have been TikToks complaining that they have pretty privilege and stuff, and sure, you could say that. They definitely probably plays into it, obviously, but, like, so, like, they didn't choose to be this way. Like, sometimes if you have luck, you're gonna use it. Like, if I was, like, that pretty, maybe I would probably want to make, if I could, like, hang out with my sisters all day, film fun stuff. Like, I don't blame them for taking this opportunity. They were given it. Why not take it? What do you want them to do? Like, be miserable their whole life? Like, sure, maybe you could say they have pretty privilege, but, like, they're using it like you would. You would use it the same way if you had the privileges they have. So why hate on them for doing, like, you would do the same thing?
Someone said, what surprised me is that they got on the red carpet in like 3 months with their looks and money. Meanwhile, an actor that worked hard takes years to get on a red carpet, which is ridiculous. And then someone said, facts. And the worst part is that some of their fans were making videos like, haha, they got onto the red carpet in 3 months while you losers take years. Like, bro, for real, this is so messed up. And it's only because they're pretty. Like, a lot of their fans are really nasty. That's what I mean when I say they're nasty. Like, they would do anything to protect these 3 people who they call mother, and these 3 sisters could not give a single shit about them.
Only real Coco crazy watchers will get this. Reminds me of another fandom. Anyone get that one? Yeah, they definitely do have a pretty nasty fan base, and maybe something could have played into that. I don't really know how it works. Like, I couldn't say exactly how you create an incredibly nasty fan base and how much is really on them. Once again, I don't think a ton is on them. Yeah, it does suck. It does suck. Once again, they get things easy and their fan base is absolutely nasty. I get why that would make people mad, but once again, it doesn't really give you an excuse to just, like, blatantly spread misinformation about them just because, like, their fan base has been really, really awful to you and they haven't said anything about it. I get it. It sucks. It is annoying. Just like how, like, some people get to be billionaires because they're born into it. It is so annoying. But unless they're, like, incredibly problematic and they do awful things, say awful things, support awful people, support awful movements, blah, 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 you get the idea, there isn't really a reason to, like, hate them. Yeah, I get it. Once again, pretty privilege, that really is an annoying thing. I do agree. It's incredibly annoying to see them live such an easy life compared to what most of us are living, but that is the internet at the end of the day. People are going to get to be, like, what you wish you were sometimes because they have privileges you don't, and that is annoying sometimes, and I get where the hatred comes from. Once again, it's just simply not an excuse to just spread blatant misinformation because you personally feel against them. I remember when I was, like, a little kid and I always wanted to be, like, a huge fan. I thought people that were, like, major fans of, like, singers and stuff were really cool, so I was always trying to, like, really like someone, a singer, maybe like Taylor Swift or something, and just become a mega fan and then maybe one day get to take a photo with them or something. Like, that was something for some reason I wanted to become, but I could never find someone that I, like, was interested enough in. Like, no singers, no nothing. And I'm not saying this to jab at people. Like, if you are a major fan of someone, go you, unless you're being a toxic jerk to people that criticize them. But, like, sometimes I just don't understand how people can have such, like, weird relationships with people they've never met. Like, if you're going out of your way to harass anyone and stuff that, like, and just make fun of other people when the person you support achieves something or releases something, then, like, I just don't understand, like, where are you getting this weird relationship from that doesn't exist? Like, why do you feel like you're part of something that you're not? I'll just never understand that. Now, that's the case of things like random TikTokers that do dances, or TikTokers that make silly stuff like this, simple content like this, or a singer, once again, Taylor Swift, Sabrina Carpenter, something like that, Melanie Martinez, something like that, where, like, they don't have a relationship with you and they never will. Like, you could literally be gone in a second and they would never notice and they would never care. It's such a weird relationship to have. So I'll never really understand that. Why, like, people have that mindset like these sisters fan base does, which, once again, I do not blame the fan base on them. I don't blame that on them. But, like, I just don't understand why people are so obsessed with the sisters, because, like, the sisters are not returning that because they don't have to. And I'm not exactly sure where they started. I don't think they started on TikTok. I believe they started with long form, but if they did start with TikTok and maybe privated their TikToks, because that is what a lot of people do that become popular on TikTok, maybe that's the route they took. It is still very impressive, the numbers they hold. Even someone who is really pretty, like, think of Leah Holton. She's a super pretty TikToker. Lots of people say she's pretty privileged. I've even made a video about it, and she makes YouTube videos, and she talks about how she likes YouTube and stuff. She makes makeup tutorials. She's gotten some million views before and stuff, but, like, it's not very consistent. Like, some of her videos will get very, very low views on YouTube. So even if they do have pretty privilege, it's something more than that. Like, it's probably, like, the charm and the happiness. It is more than just being pretty. Like, even though, once again, they do have a privilege, people have to admit that there is more to it than that, because they would not be maintaining these YouTube videos if it was just their looks. That would die out. Clearly, an audience feels a connection to them for some reason, so there is more to this than I would say. Once again, are they privileged? Of course they are, but everyone's privileged in some way, and they've just decided to use their privilege to make content, to get popular on YouTube. And it's worked incredibly well because, once again, like they do, while it is a very toxic fan base, man, is it loyal, because just sometime when you're bored, look up their name and look at those views. Like, seriously, look at the views they get. And they're long form videos, they're just random videos, and it doesn't matter what they post. They can post like playing Uno and they'll get 200,000 views in the first hour, and it's just like, dang, I am jealous. I am jealous. I do not hate you guys, but geez, like, can you share some of those views or something? Seriously. So it definitely is something more. That's what I have to say, is they add something on. I'm not sure what it is because I don't make that type of content, so it'd be stupid for me to judge it and say, like, act like I understand it, but there is something more. It's more of a connection with the audience that they provide. So if that were true, that their privilege was the only thing making them popular, then they probably would have, like, died off by now, especially on YouTube. That's enough of the yap session, guys. I am sorry for all the yapping. I'm sure some of you guys will let me know, but yeah, I'll see you in the next one. I better see you in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. If you made it this far, you probably fixed your attention span. Donate to the GoFundMe or get a sweatshirt to help provide more for Mustafa, and I'll see you in the next one.